It's the Orioles on Massett in Game 2 of the three-game set against the Toronto Blue Jays. And the Orioles coming away with a 6-4 win in the game last night. Look to extend it. And that losing streak of Toronto, they want to extend that as well. Welcome, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne. Great to have you with us from Mike Messina, Rich Dower. We'll have more to talk about with them. They're going to come up and visit us during the ball game tonight. A lot of rain in the area, but right now it looks like we're going to get this started just about on time. For the Orioles last night, nice win. They got the big lead, gave up a couple of runs late in the ball game. Jim Johnson came on to wrap it up. One of the interesting things that's happened for the Orioles since the All-Star game is that they have committed only 8 errors. They are still last in fielding in the American League, but they are first since the All-Star break in fewest errors committed. That will carry you a long way when you're trying to make it to the playoffs, as evidenced by the defense that we saw in the ball game last night. With Zach Britton on the mound, there are going to be a lot of ground balls. When he gets those, you got to have the D working behind you. At shortstop, Hardy, #1 fielding percentage for shortstops in the American League. He was magnificent last night. Reynolds at first base with a great play. Ryan Flaherty came off the DL for last night's game. He had 6 assists in the ball game at second base last night, coming in, going away, and going to his left. I mean, the outstanding defense in the middle last night for the Orioles helped them win a ball game by not allowing Toronto to have any of those extra at-bats that you never want to give up. If the D can stay that way through the remaining part of the season, chances for the Orioles to be in the postseason are a whole lot better. We'll come back, talk about the two who are honored here tonight, as Rick Dempsey will be joining me, and Mike Messina, Rich Dower with the subject of our discussion. Is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. And by Jeep. Jeep and the unique brand of freedom you'll find only in the full line of Jeep vehicles. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. Back here at Camden Yards, two teams have gone at it pretty good during the regular regular season. This is game number 2 of this 3-game set. The Orioles lead in the series 6-4 now. See that batting average? Still Toronto with a couple ticks higher than the Orioles. The Orioles with the Davis home runs now leading in that department 18-15. Toronto still the advantage in runs per game. Big difference though comes in that ERA, where the Orioles are a better number, and even better than that when they get to the bullpen. And obviously these games coming against these Eastern Division teams, they have double-digit meaning for the Orioles. The Orioles come into this one hoping to pick up win number 69 in this ball game. Take a look at our train game time temperature at 77 degrees, humidity up, thunderstorms around in the area. Visit Train.com for an independent Train comfort specialist dealer near you. It's hard to stop a Train. Starting lineup for the Jays, who have lost 6 in a row, presented by Dodge. Davis, McCoy, Bautista, Encarnacion, Johnson, Escobar back off paternity leave. Sierra, Vizquel gets the start tonight, and Mathis doing the catching. There are the numbers for Jose Bautista with all those home runs. See your authorized Dodge dealer and experience a world of performance, design, and fuel efficiency. Schedule a test drive or go to Dodge.com and check out their powerful lineup.
Here's a scouting report on Steve Johnson. He packs some punch. You wouldn't think he would be a strikeout pitcher, only throwing 88, 89 miles an hour, but he had 9 strikeouts in the first 6 innings of his first major league start. This guy struck out 13 in the first 9 innings that he pitched. No relief in sight. This guy wants to be a starter, and he's showing everybody he's certainly capable of doing that. 1-0 already with a 3-0, 2-8 at AAA ball, but the 3.3 ERA is what you really have to look at. Master of the mix. He's a guy that he knows he has to change speeds when he's on the mound. He's got a great curveball, an unbelievably good changeup, and he's got that fastball late in the count to strike you out up in the zone. He knows what he's doing out there on the mound.
Orioles have a chance to gain some ground on at least Tampa Bay. The A's beat the Rays today by a score of 4-2. Coco Crisp had a 3-for-4 ball game for the A's. Jennings RBI 1-for-4 for the Rays, but the A's won it. So the Orioles with a chance to gain a little ground in that chase of the Yankees and in the wild card race. And we are ready to go. Here's Rajah Davis, their speedster, and he takes a big cut on that first pitch for a strike.
Oh, you're not kidding. He's a guy that doesn't even get an opportunity to play every single day, at least not for the whole season. Now he is, but 164 steals since 2009. That's the most in the American League. So he's going to be tough on the bases if he gets on early.
He is second in the American League in stolen bases. Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way, and that'll be taken inside for a ball from Johnson. So another chance for Steve Johnson, who has worked both in the pen and in the starting rotation for the Orioles, 2 each. Coming off the game against Texas. And a ground ball toward short. Hardy, middle infield, right back to work as they left the ballpark last night. They pick it right up again.
Here's the Orioles defense out there tonight. McLouth will be on left field. Jones in center. Markakis in right. That's the usual lineup so far in the last couple games. Reynolds at first. Flaherty at second again. Great defensive game last night. J.J. Hardy solid as they get. Machado, he's the best third baseman defensively we've had here all season long. Matt Wieters behind the plate. Steve Johnson on the mound.
McCoy moves up in the lineup. This is Mike McCoy because of injuries, recalled by Toronto, and he'll be playing in center field in the ball game tonight. He had a 1-for-3 in the game last night. 24-year-old right-hander working in a hurry. That one to left field. McLouth is going to have to play it on a hop, and McCoy is on with a base hit, his second hit of the series. So Toronto with one on, one down. That'll bring Bautista to the mound. John Farrell's team has lost 6 in a row. They've lost 7 in a row on the road, and they've lost 9 of their last 10 as they are struggling mightily right now, largely because of injuries. But they do get Bautista back last night, and they will get Escobar back in the ball game tonight. Throw over to first base to get McCoy back. Take a look here. Most at-bats without a home run against the Orioles, 35. Mariners, Phillies, and A's nowhere near that number, as the Orioles have really held this big bat down. Breaking ball just stayed up. Bautista against the Orioles on the season now is hitting 143. He has no home runs against the Orioles and no RBIs.
And that's just amazing that the Orioles have been able to keep this guy in the ballpark the whole time. I think back 2 years ago where almost every at-bat this guy was driving the ball. If it wasn't out of the park, it was a double in the gap. I mean, he has really powered the Orioles over the last couple of years.
Bautista getting back in, of course, after not having played since July 16, so he missed a long time with that sprained left wrist. So it's going to take him a few games to get back into his routine here at the major league level. Pretty good lead by McCoy at first base. Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way. The track should be good out there for runners. The rain we had was very light through the late afternoon, and the tarp was on. Neither team got batting practice in, so the infield in great shape, and not a lot of rain in the outfield either. And the hope is that's the way it'll stay. Virtually no breeze at the start of the game either. 2-1 strikeout. Throw over again. McCoy might have been leaning on that one. He goes diving back in on his belly to get back into first base. McCoy's 2 for 2 in stolen bases. 105 stolen bases picked up by Toronto. 2-1. Runner not going. Bautista takes it up high. Johnson falls behind him. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Well, that's kind of been the way that the Toronto Blue Jays have decided to go after they had 13 people on their 25-man roster that went on the disabled list and pretty much depleted them of all of the power that they have. Adam Lind is one of those guys that has been on the disabled list that really hurt the Orioles with that, but they have depended on the stolen base.
There goes the runner. Throw is there, and they got him. Waiters put it on the bag, and over to get it was Flaherty, throwing out 34% of base stealers. Waiters makes the first big defensive play of the game.
Well, that's their game plan, is to try to steal bases and put pressure on the pitcher. And you see he gets a pretty decent jump right here, and he looks back, but Matt Wieters gets rid of the ball exceptionally quick. That time was able to cut him down.
That ball put up in the air down the line. It is curving foul. And as we've talked about so often, especially with Mike Bordick, how a shortstop and a second baseman covers that bag makes all the difference in the world. If you stay in front of the bag and olay it on that play, the runner's safe. He
Absolutely.
didn't. He straddled the bag. So the throw comes right to your glove. You're right there, and the runner's coming right into it, and they recorded the out.
I think of the first shortstop that I played with the Orioles, Mark Belanger, and he showed every shortstop that came after him how it had to be done. He straddled the bag perfectly, 1 foot on the left and right side, waited for the ball to come to him, even if it was in the dirt, and he just caught the ball and went straight down. And sometimes he flicked his hand so fast he never did touch the base stealer, and I got the call anyway.
Yep. Yeah, that's the way the great ones out there get that done. Here's Encarnacion. He's got a 4-game hit streak. Their best hitter with a runner at first base after the walk surrendered to Bautista. Watch is what we're talking about, Rick, right here.
There's no chance to just drop the glove on, but he stayed on the bag. He straddled it perfectly. And that's what the umpire sees. He sees the ball get there ahead of the runner, and the tag, even though it looked like he might have been a tie, the umpire's still going to give you that call.
Yep. And prevented any space to get the hand in around that foot that was on the outside of the bag.
But you go back in the days of Bobby Grich, when he knew that the throw was on line, he would drop the left leg in front of the bag and actually block it like a catcher does at home plate.
That is a strike taken. Encarnacion had a 2 for 3 in the ball game last night. He is the American League's 3rd leading home run hitter and 6th in RBIs in the American League. And with everybody else who's been injured, Encarnacion has carried the load at the plate for this Toronto team. Throw over to first, and Bautista back to the bag. Reynolds picking that one out. Two ball, 1 strikeout. Encarnacion 62 walks, along with the other big offensive numbers for him. Man, he cranked that. It's foul. Low hanging clouds. He might have hit one with that one.
He could have.
He got under that and drove it right straight up. And there are lots of low hanging clouds around. Storms that are coming through are blowing from right to left tonight, which is a bit unusual. And there is wind outside the ballpark, but right in the yard right now it's been pretty quiet. Big cut, fouls that one back as well, and the count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, you think about Encarnacion and what he has become this year for Toronto. 33 home runs. I mean, nobody really expected him to be that kind of hitter, but he has established himself as that number 4 hitter now for Toronto, right behind that fella you're looking at right there, Jose Bautista.
2-ball, 2-strike delivery on the way, and that one will be reached for. Adam Dunn got 2 more home runs last night, the comeback player of the year by the old country mile. Dunn now leads Hamilton of Texas by 4. Dunn's got 38, Hamilton's got 34, and Encarnacion has 33. Top 3 in home runs in the American League.
Steve Johnson, this has been that classic position, the 2-2 count with a fastball up in the strike zone here to try to get that strikeout.
He leaped on that one way back in left field, and goodbye home run. Make it 34. A 2 RBI shot here in the first inning. Bautista will score ahead of him, and Toronto's got the 2-0 lead.
Well, he left an off-speed pitch up in the strike zone, and he couldn't do that. That's one thing that he has not been doing since he's gotten this opportunity with the Orioles. Watch this pitch. It looked like maybe a cut fastball or a changeup or something, but he left it way up in the strike zone, right up there eye level for Encarnacion just to put the head of the bat on. And he monsters that ball out of the ballpark.
And our Nissan Pitch Track gets a Nissan Summer Saving Days. The event ends September 4. Visit ChooseNissan.com or see a local Nissan dealer. So the home run ball used by a team that, like the Orioles, has used the home run ball a lot to account for runs this season. Here's Kelly Johnson, and Johnson will take the pitch for a strike. Johnson in the ball game last night ended up with a 1-for-3 an RBI single in his first at bat, and the pitch is taken inside, and it will go to 2-1. Johnson has had a very tough month of August, hitting below the 175 mark this month. He puts that one to center field. Adam Jones has got it lined up, and that will do it in the inning. The Jays get on top as they picked up a couple of hits. A walk to Bautista, setting the stage for the Encarnacion homer. The Orioles brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Markakis, Hardy, McLeod, Jones, Wieters, Davis, Reynolds, Flaherty, and Machado. Davis, the big 3 home run ball game last night in the 3-for-4.
Here's a scouting report on Brandon Moreau. Hard to hit. He's got the lowest opponent batting average in the American League, 191. That's really shutting down a lot of offense. Gets locked in. First time through the order, 234 is all the hitters are hitting. And after that, he gets even tougher, just 174. He rolls an easy 7. In his 7 wins so far this season, he has only given up 3 runs total for those 7 wins.
His first start since coming off the DL today, 2.5 months for one of the game's outstanding pitchers. The last time he pitched was on June 11. He threw only 9 pitches in that ball game and came out with the torn oblique muscle. 1-0 delivery and foul back. And now he's back in for a ball club that's out of the races, but at least some good news for them to get Moreau back in to the remainder of the season. John Farrell, right after Moreau was injured and went out. Kyle Drabeck, Andrew Hutchinson went down with elbow injuries. That ball was fouled back by Nick Markakis. Nick in that leadoff spot last night ended up with an 0 for 3. Did have a sacrifice fly and an RBI. The 0 for 3 ended his 7th game hit streak. Good numbers versus Moreau. Infield shifted a bit, playing him to pull. Outfield the other way. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Way inside. What the Orioles have to hope for is that Moreau, even though he had some rehab chances, is not going to be anywhere near what he was when he suffered the injury, and he was absolutely dominating teams and hitters. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fastball foul back.
You know, since I had an opportunity to catch so many great pitchers here with the Baltimore Orioles, it's easy to see mechanically why Moreau is such a tough pitcher to hit. He really makes a good turn in the midst of his windup before he delivers the ball to home plate. You watch him right here. Watch that front shoulder really tuck in. You know, that really makes it so easy to hide the ball and get the kind of pitches off the fingertips you like.
Omar Vizquel will make the play.
Here's the defense for the Toronto Blue Jays out in left field. Rajah Davis, McCoy in center, Jose Batista in right. Vizquel will be playing third base. Omar, oh geez, I forgot how old he is. Escobar, Johnson at second base, Encarnacion at first, and Mathis behind the plate. Moreau, we already know, is on the mound.
Omar Vizquel, 45 years old, getting the start. Here's Hardy. J.J. Hardy will take the pitch for a strike. Hardy had a double and a single in the ball game last night, went 2 for 4. Now has a 4-game hit streak coming into this game tonight. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Moreau's pitch will be on the outside corner for a strike, and if Bill Miller, the home plate umpire, has a strike zone that'll give that, Moreau's a pitcher who will take it and can use it.
Well, yeah, he's a guy who can spot the ball. Obviously, the numbers show that, where he really wants to move the ball around.
He is one of the all-time strikeout leaders. He gets his first right there in the ball game.
We're not really aiming at the inside corner, but you make a good turn. The ball jumped off his fingertips, and J.J. Hardy, you know, looking for the ball away, had to pull his hands in, and he misses it.
He averages 9.7 strikeouts per 9 innings for his career, so he piles them up. Here is Nate McLouth. McLouth shows bunt and will take the pitch for a strike. McLouth's got a 5-game hit streak. He picked up a single last night. He ended up going 1 for 3 in the ball game. He will be facing Moreau for the first time. Here's the 0-1 delivery to him. The off-speed pitch is going to miss outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. A couple of changes made today in the Toronto roster. The options Anthony Gose and the shortstop Echeverria, who we saw last night, both gone back to AAA. One of the spots filled by Moreau and the other by Yunel Escobar, coming off the paternity list and back with the ball club. 1 ball, 2 strikeouts. Farrell gets a little better lineup than he had last night, and obviously a real quality pitcher back. 1-2 delivery, and he got it. And that's a Moreau inning right there. A couple of strikeouts as he retires the side in order. Toronto, after 1 here at Camden Yards, a 2-0 lead. Second room of flooring free. 877-241 Luna. Barry Thornrick Dempsey with you as the Orioles battle Toronto here. The Orioles putting some numbers up at home of late where they had struggled much of the year. The Orioles have won 9 of their last 12 here at Camden Yards. Steve Johnson looking to pick up his second win in his second major league start and his 5th major league appearance. He had that great start against Seattle. 2 runs, 5 hits over 6 with 9 strikeouts in that first start.
Well, he's got his work cut out for him now, Gary. He's got to be able to keep the ball down and not allow this ball club to get too far behind at this point in this game.
Here is Escobar. Will take the pitch outside for a ball. Escobar has a 3-game hit streak, 3 hits his last 11 times up. Had been struggling before he went on leave. Just 7 hits in his last 45 at bats. That's a 156 batting average for Escobar. Johnson's 2-0 delivery to him, and that's a strike on the outside corner.
I think back at Steve's first game, the opening game, his major league start, when he threw 9 consecutive strikes in a row. I think it was 9 in a row. It was just one strike right after another. And this guy, when he gets locked in, can pitch because, you know, he gets that off-speed stuff over, and that changeup especially. And I know he left a changeup up in the zone to Escobar. I mean to Encarnacion. But out of that, he's really got to buckle down now and give us a chance to get back in this.
Came upstairs with a fastball and gets Escobar in the strikeout.
Yeah, that's the way he pitches. You like to see this right here. Watch off-speed stuff early. There's that fastball a little bit running up. You know, not overpowering, but the way he orchestrates his game, he can make that fastball look like it's 96, 97 miles an hour.
And works in a hurry. Here's Sierra. And he will take the pitch for a strike. Sierra, the designated hitter as he was last night. Moises Sierra with that 298 mark overall, and a swing and a miss. And the count will go to 0-2.
And you don't know how much his teammates appreciate this guy. He knows what he wants to throw. He's got a good game plan, and he works very quickly.
Big cut right there. Strikeout number 2.
Now we're seeing a guy getting locked in right now. He's working very fast. Watch this pitch again. That fastball on the outside corner. It just hides the ball well. They're looking for the off-speed stuff now, and now that fastball is a lot more effective.
And our Kia Pitch Strikes brought to you by Kia Motors. To learn more, visit Kia.com. Another strike taken. Here's Omar Vizquel. Vizquel, 2,959th game for this 45-year-old. And the pitch will be taken inside for a ball. So Omar Vizquel continues to get it done, wants to go into managing when his career is done. Switch hitter, playing in his 51st game of the season. He has had 3 RBIs, couple extra base hits, 1 double and 1 triple. 1-2 delivery. And Vizquel watches that one inside. 2-2. Omar Vizquel against the Orioles, a 260 hitter. Lifetime. Puts that one up in the air to left field. McLeod was shallow, perfectly positioned. He's got it. Steve Johnson comes back and retires the side in order. We go to the bottom half of the second inning. Jones, Wieters, and Davis coming up. Lon Massett is brought to you by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. So the Orioles will have to, as they've done a number of times this year, come from behind in a ball game if they're going to get a win. With Toronto getting on the board early here with those 2 runs on the Encarnacion homer. Adam Jones will be leading it off for the Orioles. He's had good numbers. 8 for 22 with 2 home runs off Moreau. 291 in the years. He's flirted with getting to that 300 batting average virtually all season long.
I know he has. He's had some pretty nice streaks where you thought he was really going to take over and get way up there, 310, 315, something like that. But then, right back. It's awfully tough, when we struggled offensively, for batters to continue to pitch to him. It's been a little bit easy at times to pitch around him.
That ball's going to go to short, and it will be handled by Escobar. So 1 pitch and 1 out here in the 2nd inning. Fans, join us for an evening with Cal and Eddie on September 5 at the Hilton, Baltimore. Go to www. Babe Ruth Museum for ticket information. That's Babe Ruth Museum, and that's going to be on September 5. 1 away. Here's Matt Wieters. Matt coming up. Ball game last night. Sac fly RBI. That an 0 for 3. 2 for 14 with a home run off the Toronto right-hander. The wear and tear of a long season settling in on Matt. Took that bump on the shoulder the other day, but was not going to come out. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And I think, and you can speak to it, the end of the year, when you get to that final month, if you've caught all year,
you get a lot of dings.
Yeah, and you got to be a little tired.
Well, that's what the wintertime is all about. If you're going to catch like Matt Wieters is going to do every single day, your winters are just not going to be the same as everybody else's because of the workload and the stress it is up and down behind home plate all the time. So it's a heavy weightlifting program to strengthen your legs and a long conditioning program and putting the miles in on the roads. That's the only way to do it, and especially here at Baltimore. And that's the toughest place I've ever played.
Because of the heat.
Because of the heat. It isn't so much that you're not going to be more tired or less tired than other players per day, but when you're in better condition, you're going to recover quicker. And that's what you need to do as a catcher. You need to recover very quickly.
Matt Wieters up there with a 1-ball, 2-strike count. 1 down, nobody on. Moreau with a 1-2 delivery and put that one down and in and got him and gets a strikeout, his 3rd.
Well, we're seeing a guy right here now that's really getting locked in. We talked about early on how effective he was after that first inning. And boy, he just made a pitch right there that's so tough for any hitter to hit. And what I really like about this guy is, he makes a good turn. That's something I always looked at as a defensive catcher was my guy making a good turn, getting that arm back and making it easy for him to get on top.
Here is Chris Davis.
He'll show you that whole number 23 from a catcher standpoint, and that's a beautiful thing.
Davis first ball hitting, fouls it away. Of course, a most memorable evening last night. 19th time an Orioles player has had a 3-home run ball game. No Oriole has ever had a 4-homer game. Davis got 4 RBIs along with the 3 home runs in the game last night, including 1 out on Utah Street. And the pitch up high, taken for a ball. And the fans gave him a standing ovation when he came to his last at bat, and also when he left his last at bat and headed back after being struck out. A great night for him. 1-1 delivery, and Davis will take the pitch inside. He's had 1 career home run off Moreau. He's 2 for 9 against him.
Chris is funny. He hasn't really been in a big long slump at all this season. He's had some down spots, but overall I'm amazed that he's been able to stay as hot as he has through stretches.
Stayed away from him on that one and asking whether or not it was a strike. 2-ball, 2-strike count. It is with that swing. 23 home runs on the season. That's a career high. He had 21 with Texas back in 2009. The 3 runs he scored ties a career high for a single game. 6th time that he has done that. 2-2 delivery to him. That'll miss down low, and the count goes to 3-2.
You talk about an entirely different game plan against Moreau tonight than last night. A lot of off-speed stuff early last night and fastballs late in the count. Tonight you're going to see exactly the opposite. He's going to come at you with that good sinking fastball early in the count and then show you the breaking ball once in a while to get you to strike out.
3-2 delivery on the way, and that hit him. Boy, that was a fastball that just bore in on him. He's all right. So the Orioles get one on. Their first base runner comes with 2 down in the second inning.
Tried to do the same thing he did with Matt Wieters, get that breaking ball down and in. He held it a little bit too long, and you can see it's going to catch him just above the ankle on that back leg. That can hurt.
Yeah.
That'll make a mark.
That was coming pretty good right there. That is the second hit batter of the season, and that will bring Reynolds to the plate. Mark Reynolds took some big cuts in the ball game last night, ended up with an 0 for 3 and a walk. He's only had 1 hit in 12 at bats off Moreau, and the pitch will be taken 1-0. Mark now hitting at .218. Extra base hits, 22 doubles on the season to go along with the 12 home runs he's picked up. 1-0. Fastball right on that inside corner.
You think about all the power that the Orioles have up and down the lineup. This is one guy here that if we ever really get him hot going down the stretch here, he can carry this ball club for a long time. 30 some odd home runs last season. You just kind of hope that with 2 strikes he cuts his swing down a little bit because it makes him such a better hitter.
And he does a little bit, and under the glove of Pascal for a single. So Reynolds picks up the Orioles' first hit of the ball game, and with 2 away, 2 on here in the second for Flaherty.
Last night we saw Flaherty come in with a much better swing than he did at the start of the season. He left before he got on the disabled list with a pretty good swing, a couple of home runs in Cleveland. He started driving the ball and hitting the ball the best that we have seen him here swing the bat. So hopefully he'll pick up where he left off, because he's got a lot of powers, that kind of secret power that people don't think you have, but he's got a quick bat.
Couple of hits, 3 at bats last night for Ryan Flaherty, and the pitch will be taken outside for a ball. So here's an Orioles chance to get one or more of those runs back that were picked up against them by Toronto in that first inning. Flaherty with 2 on, 2 down. Morrow's pitch to him is going to be taken up high. The off-speed delivery misses, and the count goes to 2-0.
We saw him last night come in and make a couple of real good defensive plays, and he's very smooth out there. He's a Rule 5 draft. We picked him up, out of spring training. He's got to stay here on the ball club. I don't think anybody wants to see him go, because sooner or later this guy's going to be an everyday player.
2-0 delivery. Flaherty on the swing and a miss. Flaherty's hitting .261 with runners in scoring position. Good number for him. He hasn't had a lot of chances. Most of them come at the bottom part of the order. 6 out of 23. He's got an opportunity here. Lead runner Davis hit by a pitch, and Reynolds with a single on at first base. Infield back very deep against Flaherty. And the 2-1's going to miss inside. So after striking out the last 2 in the first inning and the second batter this inning, all of a sudden the strike zone's eluding him a little bit.
Well, it's a little bit different delivery when you have to go to your stretch and he doesn't get that good turn like you get from the windup. It comes off the fingertips a lot differently and much tougher to maintain your control. You're looking at the runners, not concentrating on the strike zone like you would with nobody on base. So this is where the Orioles have to take advantage of this opportunity here.
3-1 delivery, got one to hit and fouled it straight back into the screen. So a 3-ball, 2-strike count with 2 down. That'll send the runners, Davis and Reynolds.
There's Machado right there. I would love to see him come up with an opportunity, bases loaded, and see what he's capable of doing.
3-2 pitch, runners go, and he's going to get a chance. A hit batter, a single, and a walk.
nothing good happens after a walk, Gary. I guarantee that. Nothing good right here. I got a call. I'm making a call. There's going to be some solid contact on this at bat.
Here at first here.
This guy so far has been a big game player. I mean, hits his first home run. He hits 2 home runs in the game that he had his first home run. So he has been nothing short of spectacular since he's been here.
First time with the bases loaded for Manny Machado. And a swing and a miss. 22nd pitch of the inning. Thrown here after a couple of quick outs. What looked like it was going to be a quick inning has not turned out that way. And now Showalter watches with interest his youngster, while Farrell watches his veteran on the mound. The 0-1, and that will miss down low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And that's what I really love about this kid, because you sit behind home plate for as long as I had, and you see hitters take breaking balls in situations where they don't know what's coming, and they don't flinch and they don't lose their balance. You know that sooner or later they're going to hurt you. This kid has got it.
Here's the 1-1 delivery to him. That'll be fouled back into the screen. The Orioles had 2 grand salamis this season. Matt Wieters was the first one to get the home run, and then Chris Davis had the grand slam home run. Those are the only 2 bases loaded homers for the Orioles this year. Now Machado trying to join the group. Davis, Reynolds, and Flaherty on. Here's the 1-2 delivery, and just missed. Made it tantalizing, but he stayed away.
That was close. That's what I'm talking about. You know, you don't see him jumping at the ball and looking like he got fooled all the time. He's like got a veteran presence up there in the batter's box already.
Burrow's given up 7 home runs, 3 to right-handers in the 13 games pitched so far. Here's the 2-2 delivery, and he got him. So Moreau will get the strikeout. That's his 4th, 2 in the inning. And the Orioles, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and they will leave the bases loaded. Mike Mussina is going to join us, entering the Orioles Hall of Fame today. Sal's the Orioles trainer and longtime friend Mike Mussina, who joins the Orioles Hall of Fame. And that was just before the ball game, and Mike joining us now. Number 1, congratulations.
Thank you.
And secondly, what it means to you.
Well, it's a great honor to be included in the same breath with guys like with Demper and Junior and Palmer and guys that have come to this organization and done what they've been able to do. And it's fun, and it was exciting, and it's the first time I've been back since I retired. So, and I haven't come out of the first base dugout in a long time. So it was a fun day.
I heard you say that. That's great. Yeah. It's a nice day to do it.
Yeah.
You know, Mike, I didn't get an opportunity to catch you a lot, but I got an opportunity to watch you a lot. And, I mean, it's a special, the kind of career you had for the Orioles, and you were so tough here. What was the difference between pitching here in Baltimore as opposed to with the Yankees when you went there?
Well, I mean, it's a different atmosphere. This was the only organization I knew for for my first 10 years of my baseball career. So, this is all I knew for a long time. And, to come here when we were doing really well and the place was packed and the stadium was relatively new, it was exciting. And New York is New York's New York. It's a different atmosphere and there's high expectations. And I was glad that I came here and did what I was supposed to do. I went there and did what I was supposed to do, and it turned out to be a really fulfilling career.
I've often said it, physically, it's so much tougher to play here in Baltimore than it is any other place that I ever played. I played for 6 teams, and you just had to condition yourself differently. And Richie Bancels talked about how you were the best at conditioning yourself to pitch here. Well,
I think you learn what it takes to be prepared to go out there and do your job. And I know when you played, you knew what it took to be ready to go, and you had to catch ball games and be out there and work your pitchers and know the other team's hitters and know who was hot and who was not and all those things. So preparation is a lot about what this game is. And Richie kept me on the field a lot of times, and maybe I wasn't going to be out there.
Rajah Davis delivers the base hits to the speedster on after Mathis had grounded out one away. McCoy coming up. I know you're very close to the family here, and obviously now you get to be a parent a whole lot more than you did in the 18 years of playing, huh?
Full time, yeah.
Yeah. What are you doing with the kids?
Well, my daughter is 22 now, which she was just a youngster when we were here. My boys are one's almost 14, and the other one's 9, and I've been home now. This is my 4th year home in the summertime, and we're doing baseball and we're doing basketball, and we're trying to enjoy the summer and all the things that I never got to do when I was playing. So I'm just trying to enjoy the time, because you can't get it back when it's gone. So they're going to be grown up and doing their own thing really quickly here. So I'm just trying to be home and do what dads do.
Good. That's great.
Do you want to come back to the game after they've grown up and gone away?
Right now I don't think so. I enjoy. I coach basketball in the wintertime, and I enjoy working with kids that are my son's age, and in the springtime doing 2 different age groups of baseball. I enjoy working with the kids at that age group, so I don't foresee ever being a college coach where you got to recruit or doing it at this level, which is every day from New Year's to the end of the season, and then you turn right around and prepare for the next year all over again. So right now I'm going to say no, but I'm 43, Demper, so you never say never.
Wow,
about
you're getting
anything.
old.
I got a few years yet to see what I'm really going to end up doing. But
there goes Rajah Davis. Look at that throw. He got him. Oh, mama. Waiters is 2 for 2, and that's against the second leading base stealer in the American League, Rajah Davis.
Well, he knows he's got to get rid of it quick. I mean, they're well aware that this team is running, and look at that. Good turn, a good quick release, right on the money, right in front of the bag. Puts a great tag on Rajah Davis. That's being thrown out by a long way for a guy with his speed.
So Waiters getting it done, and McCoy will take the pitch inside for a ball. Orioles have surprised a lot of people. Mike Messina joining us here this season. Not many expected them to be in contention for postseason. What do you see?
Well, I see a team that has taken advantage of a situation where everybody thought that Boston would be a good team, that maybe Toronto would be improved, that Tampa was going to be challenging, and a couple of those teams haven't really lived up to what they expected, and this team has played a little better than people expected, and they've gotten some good young pitching going on out there, and here we are with 5 or 6 weeks left in the season, and they're still in the hunt for a playoff spot, and so now the players still have energy, and there's some excitement in the clubhouse and things that haven't been around this team in a long time, and you get a couple of those things and some players who are going well late in the year, and you can do some special things.
And that's what they've been doing and hope to keep doing. And that fly ball handled by Jones. Mike, congratulations on being in the Orioles Hall of Fame. We really appreciate you coming back. Come back sooner, will you?
I shall try, yes. Thanks, Gary.
All right, Mike Messina joining us here, joining the Hall of Fame today along with Rich Dower. It is a 2-0 lead for the Jays. The second inductee as a player. Joining us here in the booth, Rich Dower with the Orioles, one of the great second basemen, not only for the Orioles, but all around. Demper, you had the introduction.
Oh, my God.
Why don't you do it again here and a little bit about your teammate?
It was so much fun. You know, Richie, you just didn't realize how good he was until you got away into other organizations and saw the way that they played. I mean, this guy was solid. Not flashy like a Bobby Grich or a lot of the players that you saw in the game of that era, but a guy that just went out and made the plays, the routine plays every single day. He didn't have to catch the spectacular thing. He was just able to do a lot of things and stay healthy at the same time. Big player for us.
Congratulations, number one, Rich, on the Hall of Fame for the Orioles. That's great and certainly deserved. And tell us your reaction to it today.
Well, thank you. Obviously, it's a huge honor. It's where I played baseball. It's the only team I ever played for, and obviously, it's a team I still pull for. It's nice to know that somebody thinks that I'm actually good. You know, I'm going to go back and tell all the guys that
Hall of Fame material.
All the way. I'm a lot better than I thought I was, and so it's the thrill. I mean, to see these guys and then to see all the guys that came out just to to watch this. It's an obvious honor that I will probably never ever let anybody forget.
Good. That's a good thing. Nick Markakis leading it off for the Orioles. That's going to be a base hit. So Nick back on here. In right field is McCoy. Bautista has come out of the ball game. We do not know yet why. Rasmus has come on to play in center, and McCoy has gone to right. So Bautista's out of the ball game for the moment. Bring people up to date, Rich, on what you're doing.
Well, I'm coaching with Colorado. It's my 7th year with the Colorado Rockies. I really enjoy it. What a great organization. We're having a little bit of struggles this year, but it's just a beautiful place to play, a wonderful environment, and a tremendous amount of great kids. We also have probably the next Cal Ripken, if not close to there, and Troy Tulowitzki and Carlos Gonzalez, probably one of the most exciting players in baseball. So it's not like I go to work and I don't get to see some tremendous players on a daily basis.
J.J. Hardy at the plate, runner at first base. Orioles getting their second hit of the ball game, and he'll take that one for a 1-ball, 1-strike count. What have you heard, seen, and impressions of what the Orioles are doing this season? I know you're covering another league, another team, but I'm sure you have a little keep up with.
No, with all the TV now, as a matter of fact, I see you quite often.
Sorry, I apologize for that.
And obviously, with the network of information that we can get on the internet and what's going on, I mean, I see that these guys they've played so many one-run games. I mean, how thrilling that is. I remember the Oriole Magic back in '83 with guys like John Stafaro. Every night somebody would come up with a big key clutch hit. No matter who it was, and these guys must be feeling it. And I see the fans. I mean, they're starting to come back out again. I mean, if this is a magical year, get on the bus and enjoy it.
Hardy with a 2-1 delivery will foul that one back, and the count goes 2-2.
You know, Richie, there was a lot of intangible things. You know, I guess you and I could have been put into that little category. They called us the Three Stooges, you and me and Todd Cruz at the time, but we kind of kept everybody loose. I think that's a big part of the chemistry that teams need in order to be winning ball clubs, and we had it.
So we had tremendous chemistry because I first of all, pitching and defense wins game, but, going into the clubhouse and the camaraderie of the guys, when we lost a game, we were so concerned.
That goes off the glove, knocked down. Orioles' throw is not going to be in time. Infield hit.
Yeah, most of the time we couldn't wait to get back to the ballpark, and that's what I kind of like see something a little different, something now after a loss. Maybe they don't take it as hard as we did, and obviously Locker next to you for 9 years, knowing that if we lost a game and you made a sound when you came in and maybe you might have looked a little jovial, that maybe your bat might have been across your head or something. Yeah. So I know it's not like that anymore.
Well, we took it serious, but we had fun at the same time.
The fun part was just flat out seeing everybody every day, getting out on the field, and just knowing that we're going to beat whoever it is. And now if they happen to win, they must have had a great day.
Here's McLeod. They're playing bunt defensively. He does, and that will be fouled off. And a 1-strike count.
I've always wanted to ask you this question because I know we all played for Earl Weaver for a long time, and he was not a hit-and-run guy. He was not a bunt guy. He wasn't somebody who wanted to do the little fundamental things about the game. He wanted the big hit all the time. But for some reason, you ended up being that guy who got the bunt, who got the hit-and-run, and after a while, he started to trust you a lot in that area.
Well, a lot of that had to do with Cal Sr. I mean, he was the one that came up to me, and, you know, Earl was a big fan of the 3-run homer. And so I started, you know, when Bunbury would get on, and then we didn't steal a lot either.
No, we didn't. And even though Al was a very good baseman.
But he didn't want to give away outs. I mean, that was one of Earl's big things. But I kept hitting the ball and getting 2 outs every time I hit it.
The double play.
So hence the hit and run became something available, because even if I didn't hit it or didn't get a hit, at least there was a guy on second base.
And that one's going to be popped up high enough to be handled. So McLouth unable to get the bunt down. Mathis comes back to get it, and that will be the first out. I have to ask you about, now that you're out there in Colorado, can the ball club, is the home run effect there what it's always been? Is it back again, intimidating pitchers?
Well, it's back again. Now, I'm not saying it's intimidating pitchers, because there's teams that come in and do a really good job of shutting us down, and that's not easy.
Yep.
You know, so because we're like second in the league in hitting. It does fly a lot more today than it did in the other 3 or 4 years that I was there. But there was a time a couple of years ago that there was 11 shutouts. So I remember back in the live ball era when we played. You know, it didn't affect me. I mean, the live ball didn't help me, but they called it the live ball because guys were hitting 30 home runs instead of 25. But it is definitely, the ball carries a little bit more in Coors Field, and it's also a little tougher to play in because you can't breathe as much.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough to go from the dugout to third base, Coach.
So there. Adam Jones, one away, the 0-1 delivery. Runners at first to second base. Chopper to short. Escobar can't handle it. Here comes Markakis. He will score. First and third as the Orioles get the break. Escobar let the ball flame, and the Orioles are on the board.
Well, the Orioles right now have to take advantage of this situation that they have. Runner at third base, less than 2 outs. Watch this play right here, and the shortstop is watching the base runner, takes his eye off it just long enough to miss the ball. A lot of topspin on that ball. Orioles get a run across.
You're really good at this. I never thought that I would see you in a microphone and sitting down because of your eagerness and whatever. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. I can't believe you can pull this off.
You have to tape him to the chair.
Just have to trick him, Richie. That's right.
Here's Matt Wieters. Runners on at first and third. Only one away. Wieters struck out his first time up. 2-1 ball game now. That one in the air to center field. Rasmus will have room. Wind blowing it over there. Tagging up Hardy. He'll come in to score. Jones goes to second. RBI sac fly for Wieters. Ball game tied at 2.
Well, this is what the Orioles are doing so much better the second half of the season, is getting those add-on runs across with the sacrifice fly, the ground balls deep in the hole, putting the ball in play. And you see this fly ball by Matt Wieters gets that tying run in from second base, and now you've got a runner in scoring position. Jones tagged up. Good base running on his part.
So 2 away. Rich Dauer inducted into the Orioles Hall of Fame. Joining us here, he and Mike Mussina, the 2 players who are recognized in it for today. And I would assume you're back in it now as a coach. Is the manager position something you'd like to take on here somewhere one of these days?
Well, obviously that would be if you're in any profession, if you don't want to be the elite or the top in your profession, then I believe that you're doing the organization you're working for a disservice. I mean, the old goal of any organization is to have everybody be the best. I would love to have that opportunity, but those are few and far between, and I've seen a lot of managers come and go, and boy, it does add some years on to you, and it does. I'm very happy in what I do. I'm in a really good time in my life right now. And my wife and I, our daughters are out of the house, which is, she misses them, and we get all that, but it's amazing where we don't have to worry about where somebody's going, tumbling here, piano there, or whatever's going to happen. I'm really enjoying life right now.
Good for you. Rich Dauer, 0-2 count here on Davis, hit by a pitch his first time up. Runner on at second base, potential go-ahead for the Orioles. Adam Jones. Jones reaching on the error that kept the inning alive. Moreau's delivery, and that will be a swing and a miss. Rich, we can't thank you enough for coming up. Congratulations for the Hall of Fame, and great luck in Colorado.
Thank you so much.
Come back anytime.
Denver, see you, brother. The best, buddy.
All right.
Teammates true.
All right.
Orioles have tied it up. Ball game 2-2. Orioles add to their Hall of Fame in the ceremonies. Rich Dower, Mike Mussina, who have joined us here, both entering the Orioles Hall of Fame and getting their green jacket. And others who are members out there greeting them tonight. We thank both Mike and Rich for coming up and spending time with us here during the ball game. Always a big night. And then they got to throw out their first pitches. Both of them threw strikes, and their pictures will be added to that great wall, the Orioles Hall of Fame. There's your line. Orioles 2-3-0. The Jays 2-3-1. One of the runs unearned in that third inning on the error charge to Escobar, and the Orioles have got the ball game tied up as we go to the fourth inning. Steve Johnson's pitch, a fastball, swung on a miss. Colby Rasmus, this will be his first at bat. Now we still don't know why Bautista came out of the ball game. As a result, Rasmus came into play center, and McCoy moved over to right field, but Bautista, in just his second game back after the sprained left wrist, is no longer in the ball game.
Well, since that home run by Encarnacion in the first inning, 2 RBIs, you see Steve Johnson starting to make a lot better pitches. Obviously conscious about keeping the off-speed pitches down in the strike zone right now, and he's making some excellent pitches.
Johnson working quickly, which the D always loves behind you. Here's the 1-2 pitch. A little breaking ball that's not going to make it. He had 14 AAA starts, 2.86 ERA. Would have been fifth had he had enough innings. He was just shy of it for consideration. 2-2 pitch right there. He got him. Rasmus just standing looking. Third strikeout for Johnson.
Well, that's what Johnson can do for you. You know, you're expecting that off-speed pitch because he throws them so good early in the count. And watch this fastball. It just freezes the hitter right in the middle of the glove right there. Perfect pitch.
And the Maryland Lottery Strike It Rich contestant is Roxine Sullivan-Vera from Owens Mills. Roxine, you get $500 for being selected, $100 for every strikeout the Oriole pitchers record. Compliments of the Maryland Lottery. So good luck here tonight, and you can turn non-winning Strike It Rich scratch-offs into cash. Enter to win Great O's prizes, mdlottery.com/strikeitRich. Encarnacion delivered the long ball. His 34th home run of the season, 2 RBIs in the first inning. Now has a 5-game hit streak, and he has gone 3 for 4 in the first 2 games of this series. And the off-speed delivery is going to miss inside, and the count is 3-0.
Boy, what a difference a day makes. Yesterday, that ball was down the middle to the umpire we saw then.
Encarnacion, the 3-0, taking all the way, striking the outside corner. Encarnacion, third in OPS with the on-base and slugging together. He's got the third best number, third in home runs, fourth in slugging. And that pitch is down, and he gets the walk. So a strikeout and a walk here in the inning. 2 walks in the ball game by Johnson. Tomorrow, don't miss your last chance this season to experience 2110 Utah Street, presented by Southwest Airlines. One price, you get the ticket to the 135 game 2110 t-shirt. Nick and Adam, you join in their fandom. Space is limited. Tickets 888-848-BIRD or Orioles.com. Here is Kelly Johnson flying out to center field his first time up. Runner at first, 1-0.
You can see this guy has really been struggling. He was one guy they were really counting on to power the ball for them this season. And look at that, this month, 20 games, 167 batting average. And they just can't support the wins with that many guys up in the order not swinging the bat well.
He has had the lowest batting average in the American League this month. And Toronto struggling without many of their starters. Just 5 wins this month. They're 5-17. The Orioles 13-8. 1-1 delivery is foul back. Runner on at first base and 1 away in the 4th inning. This series will wrap up tomorrow. The day game here at Camden Yards. Chris Tillman's going to go against Henderson Alvarez. We will be on the air at 1 o'clock for our pregame show, or O's Extra, and then the ball game at 1:30. Masson 2 and WJZ will have that one. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and that'll be up high. A 2-ball, 2-strike count.
Well, I don't want to downplay tomorrow afternoon's ball game with Chris Tillman on the mound, but today is the game the Orioles need to win. If they can beat Brendan Moreau, then they've got a real good opportunity to sweep the series, obviously.
Markakis is there. Ball right at him. Runner halfway. And there are 2 down. Day 2 of Masson's social media weekend presented by Hair Cuttery. You can win seat upgrades, autographed gear, meet and greet, free haircuts, and more. Details are posted on the Masson Orioles Facebook page. And go back to school with a great new haircut. Go back to school with a great new look. Visit your local Hair Cuttery salon today. Let's say salon. Or was I got a haircut at the saloon last night, actually. Here's Yunel Escobar. Escobar's strikeout victim goes after it. That's to center. Jones is there. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. Steve Johnson settling in. The homer in the first. The only 2 Toronto has had off it. Web at MBUSA.com. Interesting numbers here. This is what the Orioles have been about. You see, this season, the highest win percentage in games decided by 3 or fewer runs. The Orioles are first in win percentage with 50 and 27. Toronto's at the bottom, 28 and 43. Games decided by 3 or fewer runs.
That is all about the bullpen, too.
Yep.
I mean, that is the strength of this team this season. We've had our spots offensively and defensively, but that bullpen has been solid all season long. We won a lot of one-run ball games because of them.
The one real consistency, and that's been the pen. 2-2 game. Mark Reynolds up. Reynolds a single. His first time to the plate. Reynolds, Flaherty, Manny Machado due up for the Orioles in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Ball game rolling along with some outstanding pitching. With Johnson having 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, he's given up 2 runs on 3 hits. And on the other side, Moreau's done the same thing. He's given up 2 runs on 3 hits. He's walked 1 and struck out 4. A pretty even Steven numbers game for the 2 starters in this one. 0-2 the count on Reynolds. That'll miss down low. 1-2. We're now told that Bautista came out of the game because that left wrist is acting up again. That was the injury that kept him out from July 16 until last night. And now in his 2nd game back, the left wrist is troubling him again. 1 ball, 2 strike count.
You hate to see a great player like that be benched on account of an injury, but I'm not feeling too bad about it right now.
The Orioles aren't. Get him out of there.
They don't want him in the lineup.
That could be tough. I mean, that may be something that they may have to shut him down for the rest of the year.
They might have to. I mean, you don't want to see a guy really tear something or have to have an operation on his wrist on account of coming back too soon.
2 ball, 2 strike delivery on the way. And the way Bautista swings, you can understand why a wrist problem could be aggravated in a hurry. Pretty big cuts he takes. 3 ball, 2 strike count on Reynolds. Orioles down 2-0 after the 1st inning, getting runs back in the 3rd. 3-2, that's fouled away. 1 run scoring on an error, another on a sac fly by Wieters for the Orioles. Tie the game up. There's Matt Hardy. A couple of the steadies up the middle for the Orioles. 3-2 count. Reynolds trying to get on, leadoff man. Puts he in the center field. That's Rasmus going over, and he's got it. 1 down. Orioles will open a crucial 4-game series with the Central Division leading White Sox on Monday at 7:05. So we hope you'll come and back the Birds. Big set for them in their run for the 2012 postseason. Good seats remain for all 4. Get tickets in advance and save 888-848-BIRD to go to Orioles.com.
Very tough series coming on. The Chicago White Sox have really started to swing the bat so much better than they did the first month and a half, 2 months of the season.
I believe the 2 people who will receive the most votes for Manager of the Year will be involved in that series.
Probably.
Robin Ventura and Buck Showalter.
And Buck Showalter.
Here is Ryan Flaherty. Flaherty drew a walk his first time up. And the off-speed pitch will miss for a ball. 1-0. A walk and 4 strikeouts so far. Moreau, remember, is making his first start in 2.5 months. That one hit in the air towards right center field, not deep. McCoy and Rasmus makes the catch. Take a look. Our AT&T mobility trivia fact. So far this season, the O's have won 25 games against the East. Last year, the O's won a total of 28. They'll have a real good chance of besting that number, and will have to if they are going to make it to the postseason. Our AT&T mobility trivia fact. Manny Machado struck out, bases loaded, 2nd inning. His only at bat in the ball game. Moreau's pitch is bounced about 5 feet out in front. Ball 1.
You know, one thing you have noticed is how many breaking balls that Machado has received since he's been here. First game, you know, first hit was 2-strike breaking ball on the outside corner. Went to right center field for a triple. Both of his home runs were off of breaking balls. Another one of his doubles or triples in Texas was a breaking ball at the same time. And so I think they've got him looking for the breaking ball now. That
ball's going to go to center. Busy inning. All 3 putouts are recorded by Colby Rasmus in center field. Orioles retired in order for the 2nd of 4 innings. Miller time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Matt Wieters has been catcher heavy in this one. 2 big plays in the base pass first inning. Caught McCoy trying to steal with 1 away after he'd singled. And then Rajah Davis, second leading base stealer in the American League, thrown out in the 3rd inning. Well, that came with 1 away after he'd singled.
Well, I think he realizes this team is going to run. He set up a little bit to cheat on Rajah Davis, throwing him out at second base. He turned his body a little bit more, and he waited perfectly on the ball, got rid of it very quick. That's one thing he knows he's got to do, and made a perfect throw.
Here's Jose Sierra. There is Rajah Davis caught.
Look at him. He's still wondering, how did that happen? I can't believe it. Matt Wieters got me by 2 steps.
39 stolen bases, caught 10 times now for Davis. Sierra takes the pitch outside, bottom 3rd of the order. This is the designated hitter against Steve Johnson, the Orioles' 24-year-old right-hander, making his 2nd start. Minor league numbers, opponents hit .202 against him, and that's one of the reasons why. 1-2.
Well, I really like that curveball. There's a big difference between that one and his little slider that he has, because it almost looks like a cross between the eephus curveball and a regular curveball. He's got a nice slow hump to it.
That'll just miss outside. 2 ball, 2 strike count. He has worked both as a reliever and starter for AAA Tidewater this year and with the Orioles. 3 times out of the pen, twice now as a starter. And he comes back with a fastball and gets it.
88 miles an hour, and I guarantee that hitter's up there thinking that thing was 96 miles an hour. Watch, he tucks pretty good. He gets back, gets loaded well, and just that little bit of rise in the ball right from this point right here into the catcher's glove, and that's what makes the hitter miss it. So you're looking for that big curveball again. That fastball get right by you.
Vizquel shows bunt, takes it for a strike. Our Kia Pitch Tracks brought to you by Kia Motors. To learn more, visit kia.com. Omar Vizquel flying out to left field his first time up. Vizquel playing in his 157th game against the Orioles. Carries a lifetime .260 batting average against the O's.
You know, aside of the batting average, to watch this guy play in his heyday as a defensive shortstop was really a fun thing to watch. He reminded me a lot of Mark Belanger, just as solid as they come, and a lot like J.J. Hardy, too.
Vizquel will take that one for a strike. We talked with Omar on the road about what he wants to do when the playing days are done, and it didn't take a half a second. I want to manage and coach. 1-2 delivery. I mean, he is emphatic about it. I'm staying in the game. I don't want to go anywhere. I'm going to find myself a spot somewhere to either manage or coach.
And they need players like him. You know, a lot of guys, get managing jobs who never played at the major league level, and, they're forced to learn the game a little differently.
He pulled that ball into right field. Markakis over to get it. He'll make the turn and stay. And Vizquel is on with a 1-out single here in the 5th inning. The Orioles take on the White Sox Tuesday, 7:05, and every Tuesday is Ollie's Bargain Night, presented by Ollie's Bargain Outlet. Upper reserve seats, $9 in advance. So gather up family and friends, make a night of it here at the Yard. 888-848-BIRD, Orioles.com. Jeff Mathis. Mathis batting 9th, the catcher. He grounded out to 3rd in his first at-bat. Mathis had 2 RBI homer in the 9th inning of the ball game last night. He was 1 for 3 in the game. Both Texas and Oakland have won their ball games today. Texas beat Minnesota 9-3. Ian Kinsler to 3 for 5 and 4 RBIs for Kinsler. Moreland 3 RBIs and a 1 for 4. Brian Dempster got the win over Brian Densing. So the top 2 teams in the West stay the same. Texas and Oakland 6 games apart, with the Rangers leading. Mathis looks at that one, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
A lot of difference in the location from the first inning on for Steve Johnson. All of those pitches, especially the fastballs and the hard stuff early in the count, are down in the strike zone. Knee, if he misses low. That, to me, it shows me that he's made an adjustment already.
Just missing on that one. And Mathis ahead on the count, 2 balls, 1 strike. Our ball game tied at 2-2. Tampa Bay started the day 3.5 behind the Yankees. They have lost their ball game. That's 2 in a row Tampa Bay's lost. The Orioles 5 behind New York. And Vizquel gets back into the bag. Will a 45-year-old playing at third base chance it and try and steal second? Maybe.
I think after watching the first 2 guys get thrown out, there's no way Vizquel's going to think about stealing second base.
There he goes.
And
here's the throw, and he wished he hadn't.
Oh, my God.
Hit and run was on. Batter didn't see it or missed it or something, and the tag is put on. And again, Wieters' effort creates another second out in an inning where all 3 have gotten on with singles with 1 out.
Not often are you going to see 3 caught stealings in one game, but this guy, he's locked in right now. Good rhythm, good timing, releasing the ball perfectly. Vizquel absolutely had no chance at all. Pretty decent jump from Matt Wieters. Didn't even have to make a good throw to get him. He was so quick getting rid of it.
So the count goes to 3-1 on Mathis, and he'll foul it away. Mathis either missed the sign, because clearly Vizquel was looking for a hit and run on that. He was looking at home plate as he ran.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you stop and think about it now. Matt Wieters has thrown out 3 people trying to steal. That's a full inning of outs. That's probably just saved Steve Johnson 20 pitches, which could be as much as 2 innings of work.
Isn't that amazing? That's how much it matters. That is strikeout number 5. 2-2.
Leaves a changeup up. Incarnation gets a hold of that 2-run home run in the first. Also in the first inning, you see McCoy gets a pretty good jump. Matt Wieters ready to go, makes a perfect throw, gets him at second base. Rajah Davis, he tries to steal one. He gets thrown out by at least 2 strides. And then you see Adam Jones. He drives in the first run for the Orioles with an error at shortstop. Big, tough, top spin ground ball to short goes into center field, and the Orioles actually put 2 runs on the board on account of it.
And you see Carnacion with that 2-run homer in the first. Steve Johnson now 5 innings, only 2 runs on 4 hits with 5 strikeouts. And Brandon Morrell making his return after 2.5 months on the DL. The 2 runs on 3 hits. Both of the Oriole runs now in the 3rd inning are unearned.
And how good has Johnson been since that 2-run home run? He has just gone through 4 innings so fast, Gary. Mixing speeds, keeping the ball in the strike zone, and keeping it down when he has to.
Right on the money. Here's Nick Markakis. Markakis single scored in the 3rd inning. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. The off-speed pitch will be taken up high. For Markakis on the year, a surprisingly low batting average against Toronto pitching at 188. Surprising because lifetime he's got a 298 average against Toronto. Here's the 1-0 delivered to Nick, and the pitch is taken down low. Take a look at our Inside the Numbers, brought to you by Kia Motors. To learn more, visit kia.com. Only Jeter has more hits since the All-Star game than Nick Markakis. Then Zimmerman, Trout, and Reyes. 56 hits for Nick since the All-Star break. 2-0 delivery, a strike.
I just think, Gary, that one of the biggest reasons why the Orioles are making such a good surge right now is because Nick Markakis was put into that leadoff spot. You never would have thought of that before if it hadn't been for the injuries to Brian Roberts. But, I mean, this guy has been unbelievable in this role. The on-base percentage has been huge, and the big lift that he gave this ball club by always being on base has really made it tough on opposing pitchers.
He's hitting .335 in the 40 games since taking over that leadoff spot. And as we showed you, his OPS is up like 125 from what he was when he was hitting third. 3-1 delivered to Markakis. He does it again. Nick Markakis on with the leadoff single. McCoy will get it back in, and a 2-for-3 night for the Oriole leadoff batter.
Nick Markakis is he gets so locked in after he gets that first hit and the confidence builds. Look at the eyes right on this ball, down and through. Just a perfect swing. Look at, he's even choked the bat a little bit to give him better control. Not trying to overswing at all, but when he gets locked, it doesn't matter, left-hander, right-hander, he can make good solid contact.
And our Exmo brought to you by Toshiba. Hardy, single, run scored, and a struck out. In at third, Vizquel. No bunt shown there, and the pitch will be taken for a strike. And let's see how the Orioles play this. DeMarlo Hale with the signs at third base as Hardy takes the long look. Ball game tied at 2-2, and we are in the 5th inning. Moreau will take a little extra time. Hardy this season has 5 sacrifices to his credit. In fact, he leads the Orioles in sacrifice bunts. 0-1.
You just see J.J. Hardy, how far he stands off the plate. I mean, he really...
Down the line, right field, heading toward that corner, and fair ball. Waiting up was Markakis. He'll go to third and stay there as McCoy tracks it down. Now the question is, did it go high enough to be a home run?
Boy, it sure looked like it to me.
Everybody's looking at the first base umpire, C.B. Buckner. Initially, he just singled fair. Now he's talking with Moreau, and the home plate umpires coming out, and they're probably going to have to take a look at this as to whether or not that was high enough to be a home run.
It looked to me like it hit the yellow of the foul pole. We'll take another look at it here. There it is right there. No, it didn't make it. It didn't make it. It missed by about a foot. Right there you see right at the top of the wall.
Yep.
I had originally thought that it hit the yellow part of the foul pole. That would have been a home run, but this one missed by about 6-8 inches. Another look at it again as it's coming down. Yep, you see it. Maybe as much as a foot.
Trouble was it ricocheted up, which made it really difficult to tell exactly where it hit in real time. So they're going to go look. We will get a replay here, and the question on the replay is whether or not the ball was high enough to be a home run. No question that it was fair, and from what we just showed you, it looks as though Hardy will be credited with a double. That ball really carried down the line in right field.
I was just saying how J.J. Hardy stands so far off the plate that he really promotes everybody to pitch him away. It looks like it's going to be easy for them to do that. And he is, what's really made him a better hitter this year is going more the opposite way. Look at that. You see it again, just inside the foul line, but about a foot actually from being a home run.
Yep. Had to get up above the wall, and it didn't quite make it. So they'll come out and signal that it is just as called by Buckner, a double. Review is done. So the Orioles had a great chance here. Runners on at second and third. Hardy's got a 2-hit ball game. There's nobody out. Moreau's been taking some warm-ups while we've been waiting, and McLouth's going to get the RBI opportunity. McLouth coming up 5 for 14 with runners in scoring position for the Orioles. He did fail in the third inning to lay down a bunt, ended up popping up to the catcher with 2 on, so he's 0 for 1 in the game in these situations. But a big one right here and a chance for the Orioles to take the lead. It gets away, not far enough for the runners to move up there. Mathis chases it down.
Well, we've seen some pretty good blocks by Mathis today so far. He's got pretty strong mechanics back there. He gets off both feet at the same time and very quick at getting to the ball in the dirt.
Greg Showalter, a little pacing here as the Orioles get a chance. Markakis, the lead runner, at third base, and Hardy at second.
Now this is where the Orioles have to take advantage of this opportunity. Nobody out and 2 men in scoring position, second and third. Against a pitcher like this, what we're talking about, you've got to score these runs. You cannot leave them out there.
1-0 count. Infield back, and the pitch will be taken down low. Mathis will throw that one away. The batting averages against Moreau coming in here, only 194 for left-handers, 195 for right-handers, 194 overall. It's about as good as it gets. Here's the 2-0 delivery, and that will be fouled off at the plate. And the count will go to 2-1.
So you see him turning the dial up just a little bit. You saw that fastball all of a sudden go to 96 miles an hour. He's not going to give it up easy.
Big moment in the ball game. Orioles trail 2-0 in the first. Encarnacion's homer. They got 2 unearned runs in the third. And now trying to take the lead. Here's the 2-1 delivery. Nate McLouth will foul that one back. And the count moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes. At least the Orioles have gotten on the board. Moreau's got 3 shutouts. 3 complete game shutouts tossed this year. Had one against the White Sox, had one against the Mets, and had one against the Angels. 2 ball, 2 strike count. McLouth in front of that, over off the stands, and the count will stay at 2-2. For Oriole fans, going to be some fun here. These are the kind of ball games. We saw one last night. We're seeing one again tonight. For the Orioles in the race, going to see some exciting games that are going to be close with key moments in them, where the little things that always do matter really end up in the spotlight. 2-2 delivery, and he got him on a swinging third strike. 1 down.
Pretty tough pitch in that situation. That's what we're talking about, the curveball down. You almost can't take this pitch because it's just too close to being a strike.
Our Kia Pitch Track brought to you by Kia Motors. To learn more, visit kia.com. That's 5 strikeouts Moreau's got. Leaves 2 in scoring position. Here is Jones. 6 Ks, sorry. Jones coming up. Adam has reached on an error and popped out. First ball hitting and fouls it back. Jones this year, 269 runners in scoring position. Aaron Loop in the bullpen. Got to figure that they weren't looking for Moreau to go much further than 5 innings after right. 2.5 months away. And he is in the 5th now, having thrown 80 pitches. Here's the 0-1 delivery to Jones. Inside out, McCoy near the seats, and will run out of room.
Well, it couldn't be a better situation for the Orioles right now with Adam Jones up there, but he's got to remember, though, too, that they've got first base open, so probably not going to get a fastball in a fastball situation after especially striking out McLouth with that curveball.
0-2 count, Adam Jones. 2 in scoring position for the Orioles. And the delivery to him, and that one's going to be blooped into left field for a base hit. Markakis scores. Hardy got a big jump, and he'll score. And Jones gets the 2 RBI single, and the Orioles get the lead.
Let's see, J.J. Hardy had the best look of anybody on the field at that ball. He knew right away nobody was going to be able to catch it. Making that break off the second base. A little bit of a hanging slider Didn't get all of it off the bat, and that forces Raja to play back a little bit. Big swing, but a very soft line drive into left field. Jones comes up with 2 RBIs.
65 runs batted in on the season for Adam Jones, and the Orioles take a 4-2 lead in the ball game. And still only 1 down. Wieters has struck out and has delivered a sacrifice fly. Moreau's delivery to him is a fastball strike up of the letters, 0-1. So Matt Wieters will look to keep it alive here. Single by Markakis, double by Hardy, who just missed the homer, and then the 2 RBI base hit by Jones with 1 away. Infield swings around on Wieters. Outfield plays him to go the other way to left. And the throw over will get him back. That numbers continue to be extraordinary. Right-handed, 306. Left-handed, 212. But 13 of his 17 home runs have been hit from this side of the plate. So the power has been this side. The average has been the other. Concerned about Jones taking off and a quick throw over to first base.
Well, he's always going to draw a lot of throws because the way he sets up, he looks like he's trying to get a jump. He just leans so much that draws a lot of attention.
12 for 18 in stolen bases this year. 0-1. Throw down, attempted pickoff, not in time. Good throw by Mathis. Now we'll get double barrel action as Chad Jenkins starts to throw in the bullpen. Adam Jones, if he can get 1 more stolen base, will have a new season high. He's got 12. It matches his high. Moreau's delivery took something off it and missed away. 2-ball 1-strike count on Wieters. Davis to follow. And now is the time to get to the 28-year-old right-hander on the mound for Toronto. He owns a 3-2 lifetime mark against the Orioles.
You watch Adam Jones right here, that last step. See that weight to his right side? That draws a lot of attention from the pitcher. And a lot of distraction at the same time because he thinks Adam Jones is going to go every pitch. You don't see that weight evenly distributed on both legs, and Adam Jones, not that he tries to steal a lot, but he certainly causes the pitcher to think a little bit more about him. Here it is. Watch him lean just a little bit to the right. There it is, right there. That's enough to do it.
2-ball 2-strike. Runner not going. Wieters swing and a miss. So Wieters, the second time he has struck out in the ball game. Now there are 2 down with a runner on at first base.
Take another look at this pitch right here. The same pitch that got McLeod that breaking ball down and in. And he keeps it real far down in the strike zone. He doesn't hang it. He didn't hang that one.
And that will do it. So Moreau is back. And not a bad game for being out for 2.5 months. The Orioles, though, will try and add another here against the pen in this inning. There are 2 down with Jones on at first base. Today, there are the numbers: 7 strikeouts in the ball game, 2 of the runs against him unearned in that third inning, and the Jays go to the pen.
Here's Aaron Loop up from the bullpen. Left-hander, pretty good fastball, 93, 94 miles an hour.
Loop's job here is going to be to get the left-hander Davis. See, the lefties hitting only 111 against him, and the righties at 229. For Chris Davis this year against left-handers, 241. Not bad. 259 off righties. He's had 3 of his 23 home runs off the left-handers. After the 3 home run ball game last night, he has struck out but hit by a pitch in this game. The Orioles DH has a runner at first base, 2 down. The Orioles up 4-2.
You just look at a lot of the numbers that this bullpen with Toronto is putting up. It's kind of, you have to scratch your head and wonder why they're having such a tough time winning ball games. Loop has held his opponents to a 169 batting average, just 12 hits and 71 batters that he has faced, and only 2 earned runs over 17 innings pitched so far.
Trouble is they've had to shuffle the bullpen
so many times, and use guys out of the bullpen as starting pitchers too.
0-1 the count. Davis takes that one away, and then tough for a left-hander to hang in. There's the hot spots.
It's funny, but look at that. You know, there's some part of inside, middle, and outside that have been good hot zones for him all season long. It's why he's so unpredictable with his swing.
Looks like a bingo card. Here's the delivery, and that's going to go the other way into left field. Jones at second makes the turn. He'll stay, as Rajai Davis will get it back in, and Chris Davis picks up a single. Runners at first and second. Here's a Twitter chatter we're taking a look at. This is pretty good. Earlier this year, a Twitter chatter said Chris Davis posed with Babe Ruth's bat at the Sports Legends Museum. Coincidence? We think not. So some of the homer magic rubbed off.
I think it did.
With the 3-homer ball game last night.
Well, he's got that kind of power.
So Loop came on to get the left-hander and did not get it done. Runners on at first and second, 2 away. Right-hander coming on to face Mike Reynolds. .630, Phil Wood, Mel Anton, and Dave Johnson will have all the latest Oriole news and notes, plus headlines from around the majors. That's Monday at 5 on Masson. As we take a look at the moon, today, at the age of 82, Neil Armstrong, who once walked up there, passed away. The highly noted astronaut who would never talk about that landing except in the most scientific of terms. He never wanted to make too much of the fact that he was the one to first walk on the moon, and he lived the rest of his life that way.
Wanted to be invisible.
He wanted, yeah. Chad Jenkins.
Chad Jenkins coming on. Another one of those guys out of the bullpen that's had a pretty good season for Toronto. Right-hander's only 158 batting average against him. 6 hits in his last 31 at-bats. He's done an outstanding job also. On to face Mark Reynolds.
Reynolds check swing foul ball. Only the 8th appearance for Jenkins. Part of that reshuffling of the bullpen. He's facing the Orioles for the first time this year. Mark Reynolds has got runners on at first and second base. He is singled and flied out to center field. So the Orioles a chance to add more. They've got 2 runs in. Jones with a 2 RBI base hit. He is the lead runner at second base. Here's the 0-1 delivery, and Jenkins' pitch will be taken. A 1-ball, 1-strike count.
You know, another stat that you have to look at with the Orioles since the All-Star break is how well they have hit with 2 outs and the amount of runs that they have scored with 2 outs. So they are really getting a lot better in a lot of areas. The biggest area for me is the defense with Machado and McLeod back in that lineup too.
And we noted they've only committed 8 errors since the All-Star game. That's the fewest committed by an American League team. Yet they are last in fielding percentage and have committed overall the most errors. So the defense has gotten much better since the break. That caught him? No. That was close. Rode in on him and ended up coming off the bat. 3-ball, 1-strike count.
Watch this fastball. 2-seamer starts to ride in on him there. And actually, you know, it really wasn't as close as it looked like on television. The camera's just in an angle where you couldn't exactly see where it disappeared to.
So Reynolds, 3-ball, 1-strike count. They get one to hit right here. Jenkins delivery to him, and that's going to be inside, and they're loaded up again. Second time the Orioles have loaded the bases in this ball game. First time it was for Machado. This time it's for Flaherty. And Bruce Walton, the pitching coach, will make a visit to the mound for his first time out and visit the 24-year-old Chattanooga, Tennessee rookie. Jenkins is in just his 3rd professional season. He had pitched both single-A and double-A ball last year on a Kennesaw State University. So Machado came up and had his first at bat with the bases loaded in the 2nd inning and struck out. This is going to be Flaherty's first chance with the bases loaded. 2 down here in the 5th.
Well, we have the matchup that we wanted, left-hander to right-handed pitcher.
And he will take it for a strike. Chance for big runs right here as we are in the bottom half of the 5th. Orioles have come back so far with 4 unanswered runs. 0-1 delivery. Flaherty will pop it up. Third base. Vizquel. He's got it. Vizquel puts it away. The Orioles get a couple of runs. They have 4 hits in the inning and will leave the bases loaded. Orioles lead at 4-2. for the finale of the series. Chris Tillman on the mound against Henderson Alvarez. Our coverage on MASN 2 begins at 1 with those extra presented by Jeep, followed by our game coverage 1:30 on MASN 2 and WJZ. All the access you need right here on MASN.
Well, a pretty good matchup for the Orioles right there. Chris Tillman with 6-2 record. Henderson Alvarez, who struggled a little bit for most of the, I'd say, the second half here, 7-11.
Somebody's doing a good job with the balloons up there. That's very nice. Looks like the Doughboy. Orioles have a 4-2 lead as we go to the 6th inning. And the off-speed pitch is in there for a strike. Top of the order. Rajah Davis leading it off, a single. Caught stealing, and he is grounded out. A couple of hits now in 7 at-bats in the 2-game set. Breaking ball will be in the dirt this time.
And one thing you love to see about Steve Johnson is how quick he still remains at this point in the ball game. You just give me the ball and get up on the mound. He's not letting anybody go to sleep behind him.
Here's the 1-2 delivery to Davis, and he'll crank that into the second deck for a foul ball. Can help this team win, you stay, and that's the case for the Orioles starter Steve Johnson. 1-2 delivery, that one in the air to left field. McLeod coming, diving. Got it. There's the speed of McLeod with a little slide at the end, and Davis is retired.
We talked before about how important defense is at this time of the season. Watch the jump that McLeod gets here. Sliding catch right there. Probably didn't need to do so, but he's very accustomed to doing it that way. We've seen a couple of great catches on his part. All has to do is the jump.
Bunt shown. It'll be taken up high. Remember, McLeod had won a Gold Glove. We've talked about that. That was the year he was an all-star playing with the Pirates and won the Gold Glove back in 2008. Led the National League in doubles that year with 46 and a strike taken.
Well, he has the speed that you're looking for. He could back up in center field with Adam Jones the other day. We gave him a day off, and we saw him go to center field and made a couple of great plays there also.
McCoy wanted to lay down a bunt. He pulled the bat back, and it's a strike. And the count goes to 1-2. 2 runs, 2 hits first inning. Since then, no runs and 2 hits. 1-2 delivery, and that one is foul back.
Well, you're seeing a lot of consistency out of Steve Johnson right now. Since he's come to the big leagues here, I think even more consistent than he was at AAA ball.
Sometimes that happens, right, Rick?
It does a lot. You know, it has to do with, the kind of defenses that play behind you. They put a lot of pressure on you by not making plays, not turning double plays, that sort of thing. And sometimes people get lost in the statistics. The win-loss record really wasn't there with 2-8, but you could see through his ERA that he really was having a pretty good season at AAA ball.
That is the 6th strikeout Steve Johnson has recorded.
And watch the location on these pitches are right there at the knees to the bottom of the knees. He has not come up above the knees since he gave up the 2-run home run to Incarnation.
And our pitch track brought to you by Infinity, luxury cars that deliver inspired performance. Here's Colby Rasmus. Rasmus came in for Bautista, who aggravated that left wrist and came out of the ball game. Rasmus got his first at bat in the 4th inning and struck out. Here's the 1-0 delivery on the way. One of the ways that you can always throw strikes, at least the way I used to do it, shut your eyes. Try it, Steve. Go ahead, close your eyes. Attaboy. And it's a strike.
Oh my gosh. Come on, that's
2 ball, 1 strike count on Rasmus.
Wow.
He's focusing.
I've never seen that before.
He's focusing. He's got a mind's eye. It's focused. He knows where it is. Doesn't need a look. And delivers it. 3-1.
Well, it just goes to show you, and Jim Palmer talks about it all the time, repeating your delivery and being able to stay on balance. I guess your eyes don't have to stay open then.
Swing and a miss.
You know, I used to swing that way, Gary, but it didn't. I didn't make contact.
Didn't work, huh?
It looked like I was closing my eyes all the time.
And a 3-ball, 2-strike count on Rasmus. Rasmus 0 for 5 last night with 4 strikeouts, and he's got 2 strikeouts.
That's ball up in the zone.
There's only 2 at-bats in this ball game. 7 strikeouts. Steve Johnson putting on another show. Second outstanding start. Time brought to you by Miller Lite. 24-year-old Steve Johnson, what a job on the mound. Buck Showalter saying congratulations. He'll be coming out of the ball game after a very solid 6 innings of work.
Well, it was really fun watching him, you know, since that first inning, the 2-run home run to Incarnation, and then from that point on, he just did not give up anything at all. Only 2 base hits after that and 1 walk.
Great job.
He went to work.
Yes, he did. Here's Manny Machado to lead it off. Machado with the 0 for 2 in this one. 0 for 6 so far in the series. Looking for his first hit against Toronto in his major league career. Down to third base with Skell. That's foul. So Machado will bring it back. Ayala up in the bullpen.
Well, I like the thinking. You get the third baseman playing back. You've got to draw this infield in on you at times when you're not really swinging and getting a lot of base hits. So Machado's really using his head trying to get on base. You get that leadoff hitter on, you've got a chance to have a pretty big inning.
The Orioles trying to assure themselves, if they can win this ball game, of their 23rd series win of the year. They had 16 series wins all of last year. That one's going to go to center. That's a base hit. Machado is on, leadoff single, bottom of the 6th inning. Our PNC minor league report brought to you by PNC for the Achiever in you. Robbie Widlansky, the 27-year-old 11th round pick in 07 with Bowie AA. 10-game hit streak, big numbers. A couple of home runs, 8 multi-hit games, and very strong numbers for the entire season.
I don't think I've seen an era like this out of an Oriole minor league since the days of Don Baylor and even then Richie Dower and that group that was at AAA ball.
That's going to get away. That will advance Machado down to second base. Puts him in scoring position.
Talk about how you've got to play good defense. Here's a wild pitch that gets away from the catcher, goes all the way to the back, puts a runner in scoring position. Now it's just a matter of getting him over and getting him in. You don't even need a hit to score him. What a big run that would be for the Orioles.
Big night for Markakis again. 2 for 3, 2 runs scored. In at third base, Vizquel. Markakis not showing bunt. And before we leave, Robbie Woodlansky want to wish the best to Bowie. They got a 4-game lead for a second playoff spot in the Eastern League's Western Division. They've got 10 games left to play. They're trying to get into the playoffs for the first time since 2008. Markakis 2-0 count. He'll line that one to left field. Atom ball though. Rajah Davis. And the runner will go back. The Orioles Legends Celebration Series returns Thursday, September 6th. Cal Ripken Jr. will be honored with the larger-than-life bronze sculpture in the new center field picnic area. The gates open at 5. Ceremonies at 5:15. All fans get the replica Ripken sculpture. Help us honor the Iron Man. That's on Thursday, September 6th. Tickets 888-848-BIRD to go to Orioles.com/legends. One away. J.J. Hardy will give it a whirl. Hardy a double, single, 2 runs scored, and he is struck out. The Orioles table setters, as they're called, have scored the 4 runs. 2 by Markakis, 2 by Hardy. 1 scored on an error. Wieters, RBI sac fly, and Adam Jones a 2 RBI single.
Here's J.J. Hardy's average versus right-handers in June, 179, and it dropped down to 171. I thought he got a little bit tired right through the hot part. And now August is starting to cool off a little bit, but he's heating up. Got that batting average back up to 310.
Good strike on the outside corner. Steve Johnson. Nothing of words. Zach Britton to pick up a win in the ball game last night. 3-1 for Britton, and Johnson trying to go 2-0. Some of the names the Orioles going to be relying on here in the race to the finish. Here's the 2-1. That ball in the air to left field. That is hit well. Going back, and goodbye. He got it. Goodbye home run catch made by the kid in the first row. Hardy, a 2 RBI homer, and the Orioles have a 6-2 lead.
The Orioles are really putting it together now. When they get the lead in this ball game, you put a lot of pressure on that pitcher not to make mistakes, and what do? They make mistakes. J.J. Hardy is there to make them pay.
So Hardy just enough to reach the first row. And here's McLeod. It was caught, fortunately for the Orioles, not by the left fielder.
Take another look at this. Watch this ball coming back down middle inside. Had J.J. Hardy's head right on the ball. Good solid contact. Just enough to get out of here. Watch this play right here in the first row. He can't get back to it, but here's a very happy fan. Thanks, Dad.
Got a hero. And the pitch is taken inside, and now that will send Mathis out to try and settle down the reliever. Hardy's got his 17th home run of the season, and the Orioles a big 2 RBI blow right there.
But if that home run ball wasn't so high, it would have come down at an angle where Rajah Davis could have caught the ball. It came straight down right in the first row.
And Davis tried to go up over the wall, but couldn't get it lined up to make the catch. And that pitch will be taken down low, and McLeod is on with a walk. So after the homer, 4 consecutive pitches out of the strike zone. Second walk, Jenkins has surrendered. Coming up, our PNC postgame tune-in brought to you by PNC Bank for the achiever in you. The analysis, Tom Davis, Dave Johnson will have it. Dave will get to talk about his own son. How exciting is that going to be? Buck Showalter will have the press conference. We'll listen in on player interviews and more coming up after the ball game. So the Orioles, Adam Jones stands back in, already 2 RBIs on a single. He's 1 for 3 in the ball game. 1 down, and the pitch will be caught, catch the outside corner. So 6 unanswered. The Encarnacion home run in the first inning gave Toronto the 2-0 lead. Then 2 in the third, 2 more in the fifth, and so far 2 more in the sixth on the Hardy homer. And that ball put in the air to center. Under it, Rasmus. And he'll put it away, and the runner back to first. 25,082, 2582 the announced attendance in what has turned out to be a very pleasant night at the ballpark. And that'll bring up Matt Wieters. Wieters has had 2 strikeouts and a sac fly. There's the dad and the youngster. We got that baseball on the home run by Hardy. Runner goes, didn't even look. Here's the throw. It's going to go into center field. McLeod will go over to third base. Jenkins never even looked at the runner, and McLeod got an enormous jump, and then the error moves him up to third.
Well, he gets a very quick jump, but that's where you steal most of your bases. And you're not going to watch him. You put a lot of pressure on the catcher to make a good throw, and he can't do it. He one hops it into center field. No chance to catch that ball with McLeod in the way, and he just cruises into third base easily.
He's 5 for 5 in stolen bases. That ball driven down the line. Davis going over, and that will be a foul ball. The Wieters will have to come back. Big part of the ball game tonight. Matt Wieters has thrown out 3 attempting to steal. It is the 14th time the Orioles have had 3 caught stealing in a game, and only the 14th time in Orioles history. Last time was in 1988 against Kansas City. The club record for catchers throwing out base stealers is 4 in a game. Don't be peeking.
Yeah, who was it?
Don't be peeking. What team was it against?
The White Sox.
The White Sox? You remember?
Yes, I do.
Rick Dempsey has the Orioles record for catchers throwing out base stealers back on May 12 of 77.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
It happened on more than one occasion. Maybe not 4, but 3.
Yeah. You got 4 in that ball game. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Wieters. Wieters takes that one to left center field, curving away from Rasmus. He's not going to get it. That will score a run. A 2 RBI ball game for Matt Wieters as McLeod crosses, and the Orioles have a 7-2 lead.
Well, definitely one of the best breaking ball hitters on this ball club. He just seems to look for it. You see right well, there's that 2 seam thing, and he tried to put a little cut, like a slider, like a cut fastball, and not a lot of movement to it. Matt Wieters is right on it.
Orioles now have 7 runs on 10 hits. Toronto 2 on 4. And here's Davis, a single. He's been hit by a pitch and struck out. 2 down, runner at first base. Davis launches that one to left field. Has he got another one? Davis back with room and will make the catch. Chris Davis to Rajah Davis. And that will retire the side, but not before the Orioles put 3 up on the board, including 2 of them coming on Hardy's 17th home run of the year. Orioles 7, Blue Jays 2. The 2013 Orioles Pet Calendar presented by Southwest Airlines is here. It is a 15-month features your favorite birds posing with their favorite dogs and cats. Proceeds benefit Orioles Reach and Barks, the Baltimore Animal Rescue and Care Shelter. To get your copy, visit the Orioles team store at Oriole Park or visit Orioles.com/pet calendar. Orioles have the 7-2 lead. With the starter Steve Johnson out of there and a chance to go 2-0. It's turned over to the bullpen.
Yeah, Louis Ayala, who really picked up his fourth loss against Boston the last time they were in town, though, had a pretty good streak going. He had pitched to a 1.76 ERA in his last 15 and a third innings, only giving up 3 earned runs. So he has been on a pretty good roll for quite a while for the Orioles.
Steve Johnson, second start in the majors, as solid as the first. 2 runs, 4 hits over 6 innings. Walked 2. He struck out 7.
He's pitched his way, as far as I'm concerned. He's pitched his way in there for another chance here pretty soon at getting in this rotation, because he's been pretty consistent. That's what you really like to see.
And that's what Buck Showalter's been looking for, is this rotation remains open once you get by the first 2 games of the Chicago series. Ayala goes to work, and the pitch is outside for a ball. Edwin Encarnacion at the plate. Delivered his 34th home run in the first inning. Ayala's delivery to him inside. Tillman tomorrow against Alvarez. Chen will go against Liriano against Chicago in the opener on Monday, and then Miguel Gonzalez against Chris Sale. Boy, 15-game winner. He's going to be starting on Tuesday. The remaining 2 games for the Orioles, TBAs, Jake Peavy and Jose Quintana, are scheduled to go for the White Sox. Quintana's pitching tonight. See the numbers for the Orioles pen. Outstanding. 57 strikeouts, 17 walks. Here's the 2-1 delivery. Encarnacion right back to the mound. He just jumped up on that one. Well, had trouble getting it out of the glove. One away. It's a 180-mile-an-hour festival of speed. It is the Grand Prix. Tickets are on sale for the Grand Prix of Baltimore, presented by SRT. Visit Race on Baltimore. One word, raceonbaltimore.com. Roadways downtown looks like nearly completed as far as preparations for the Grand Prix. Stands are up. Kelly Johnson 0 for 2. He's flied out twice. Now his pitch is there for a strike.
You get Johnson, who has struggled so much to get any kind of consistency at all. You just have to throw a hitter like this strike one and put the pressure on him every at bat.
Johnson is 4 for 7 off Ayala. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Toronto's second baseman. And a grounder to short. Hardy up.
Make them put the ball in play. That's all you really have to do. 5-run lead right now, 7-2.
Ayala's making his 5th appearance against the Jays this year. He has picked up a save, actually. 1 for 1 in saves against them. He's worked 3 1/3 innings, given up no runs on 3 hits with a walk and a strikeout against Toronto this year. 2 down, nobody on. Escobar has struck out, flied out. You put one in the air to right center field. Jones going over. That's back to the warning track. That'll take a hop up and off the top of the wall. And that will be a stand-up double for Escobar. So he gets back off the paternity list tonight and now has a 4-game hit streak.
Well, I'll drop down a little bit too much on that side. Tried to get some movement on the outside corner, but left it up.
So at 2 away, hit number 5 for the Jays. That'll bring up Sierra. The designated hitter has struck out twice. And thought about it, stays away. Pitch will be outside for a ball. Keep in mind for Toronto, Orioles are trying to send them to their 7th loss in a row, their 8th consecutive road loss, and they've lost 9 of their last 10 already coming into this ball game. 1-0 delivery, a big cut, 1-1.
There's so many problems with injuries. They just put a lot of holes in the boat, and they're just not able to recover because Toronto has always been tough on the Orioles.
They won the series last year 12 out of 18 against the Orioles. This year, Orioles have the advantage.
Kind of
1 ball, 2 strike count.
Kind of changing their whole offensive philosophy right now to, working the singles and trying to steal bases and everything has made it so different. For John Farrell, very tough to change your whole philosophy when you've lost all the power throughout your whole lineup.
1-2. Moises Sierra waiting and came in and got him. So Ayala gets the strikeout. A runner left on. 7th inning stretch time is brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey. Fly straight. Drink responsibly. Stretch time here at Camden Yards. Rick, you've been through these kind of seasons before where you got a shot at going into the playoffs and things are tight and you're looking to win. You're down under 40 games left. What's that like for a player in these kinds of situations?
Well, it's an exciting time, and I think what happens is the whole ball club starts to pull together and you see a transition. You can see already this team is starting to play much better defense than they played the entire first half of the season, and right now everything is really coming together for them. They're getting some of that timely hitting, the add-on runs, and then the power themselves is taking over. Last night, Chris Davis with 3 home runs. Tonight, J.J. Hardy. It happens at a time when it just crushes the opposing team. They're the ones now that are playing the poor defense, and you saw what happened when Adam Jones rolls that one ball through the infield, and then the floodgate just opened up, and they're playing great ball right now.
And you really want to take advantage of opportunities against a team like Toronto. They're a down team. They're struggling. They've got injuries. They're losing. That's when you jump on them.
I know, and we got the perfect guy out there tonight in Steve Johnson, who just came back with a great performance tonight after giving up those first 2 runs.
And that's going to be a base hit as Mark Reynolds delivers single. So Reynolds going after the first one, and the Orioles have 11 hits in the ball game. Reynolds is now 2 for 3 with 2 singles. He has flied out and drawn a walk.
This is a very important series to come in here and play well against Toronto within their struggles. You can't let them up at this time. They're too good a ball club. If you let them get back on track again, the Orioles could find themselves in a big hole by the time the White Sox get here.
And a swing and a miss on that one by Flaherty. Flaherty's had an 0 for 2 and a walk in the ball game. Jenkins on the mound. Orioles have outscored the Blue Jays 23-9 now at Camden Yards this year. The Orioles lead the overall series 6-4, and they are 4-0 here at home against Toronto. Here's the 0-1 delivery, ripped into right field for a base hit. McCoy's going over to get it. Reynolds will make his way to third, going to try for 2. Here's the throw, a good one, and got him. McCoy with a magnificent peg from the right field foul line will get Flaherty for the first out.
Not a bad time to really try it right here. He just busts a line drive down the right field line. McCoy makes a great throw, perfect throw. You got to make him make a perfect throw there, and he did. Otherwise, there's 2 more runners in scoring position. But at least the Orioles still have a runner at third base and less than 2 outs.
Good job by McCoy, who took over for Bautista. So Flaherty credited with a single, then 9-6 on the putout. The infield is drawn in. Machado will take the pitch. Machado had a single in the 6th inning and would score one of the Orioles' 3 runs in the 6th. Now the infield in. Reynolds not having to go, of course, on contact here. 1-0 count. RBI chance for the Oriole third baseman. Down to third and just missed it. Just missed Reynolds. Just missed the bag. Just missed the umpire. And it all was foul. That ball just going right down the line over the bag.
Well, there are times when you really have to push the envelope a little bit. I thought Flaherty picked the right time to do it. The team already up 5 runs. There's no sense in playing conservative at that point. You just go for the juggler. You've got to go for the laugher and just wipe teams out.
Yep. You saw a little bit of what goes on in the dugout that matters. You saw Flaherty talking with Jim Presley, the hitting coach. Just kind of a turn of the head, a little whisper. 2-1 delivery. Players and managers and coaches are also aware that the television camera is always on them. So the conversations that take place in the dugout take place very quietly and generally in passing. But those are their teaching moments, their criticisms, their congratulations. They all go on very quietly.
Very constructive.
Very constructive.
When you're winning games, that's when you're more likely to listen to what the manager and the coaches are telling you to do.
That's going to be a base hit. Machado picks up the single and an RBI. He got just enough of that to drive it in by the drawn-in shortstop Escobar. Ball died out there in center field, but it's a hit and a run in.
He's just trying to look to put the ball in play, hit it right up the middle, right back at the pitcher, and this is what Machado does. Another kind of little backup slider, hits it right off the end of the bat, but it's right up the middle. Nobody can make the play. This is what happens and teams start to swing the bat good. It's like a feeding frenzy. It's a hitting frenzy for the Orioles right now. They've got 13 hits on the board.
And the pitch will be taken away by Nick Markakis, who's got 2 of them. For Machado, that's going to be RBI number 9, and this is 15th game. And he's had a 2-for-4 ball game. Third baseman of the Orioles now on at first, and there's only 1 away. Nick Markakis, 2 singles, 2 runs scored. Fouls that one back into the screen. He's popped out and flied out as well.
You get in moments like this when you're in a pennant race and you break in hitting down. You're just waiting for somebody to get the rally going, and then you break hitting down to its simplest component is see the ball and hit the ball. Everybody walks into the batter's box with all the confidence of a 4-hit game already. Just make contact.
Popped that one up. Third base. Vizquel called off. Escobar had a long way to go, and Markakis is retired. Follow the Orioles with MLB.com at Bat12at. That's for your iPhone, iPad, Android, BlackBerry, and Windows Mobile. Live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at Bat 31826 or go to Orioles.com for details. Here's Hardy, nice hand. 17th home run came in the 6th inning. If he can get a triple, he's going to hit for the cycle. He has homered, doubled, and singled in the ball game and struck out. A 3-for-4. He's got a 5-game hit streak going. His 14th home run versus right-handed pitching coming in the 6th inning. 1 row far enough. One-0 count. And that will be down low, blocked by Mathis. 2-0.
You know, Gary, for so many years we've sat here and talked baseball and announced, and we've seen the Orioles go through so many stretches where they felt like bad things were always going to happen. I think what you're seeing now is a team that believes good things are going to happen, and they are.
Are they ever? Up and down the lineup. Here's the 2-0 delivery. Everybody in the Orioles lineup has reached base tonight. Only McLouth has not had a hit, but he walked and scored in the 6th inning. So it's been a combined effort. Steve Johnson, a great start. 2 runs, 4 hits over 6. 2 ball, 1 strike count. And that's foul back.
Well, I think one of the reasons why Buck Showalter is probably the #1 candidate for manager of the year is trying to put together a ball club like this and this lineup where you look at those names and some of them really don't and shouldn't be in the spots that they're in. J.J. Hardy is not a #2 hitter. But when you're forced to find a spot for a guy like him and he ends up being productive in a slot like that, then you've got to take your hat off to the manager who's figured it out.
Fouled outside of first base. And it'll stay 2-2. Talking to Buck today about, and the Oriole fans really interested in what do you do about making it for the playoffs. End of the month, supposedly the roster you have going in September is the roster available for the postseason. But that's full of holes. If you've got people on the DL, you can move people in and out. And the Orioles right now have 9 players that are technically on the disabled list. So there's a lot of room. And we're talking about Bundy. We're talking about if you wanted to bring him up, but you didn't want to bring him up early, can you hang on and still get him in September and get him on the roster? And the answer is yes. What a play. Vizquel. Oh, my. He may be 45 years old, but he is still one of the all-time great gloves in the majors. That's just a sensational play. Orioles retire. Rich Giroli, the MLB.com reporter. You see this Twitter chatter from Buck. I know it won't matter if you're on the 40-man roster or not, like it hasn't all year. If they can help us, they're coming. That's what he was asked about yesterday about, all right, what are you looking at? Who might be coming up? And he made it very clear, anyone who we think can help us is coming up. And only those who we think can help us. He doesn't want to have a lot of players around. This is not going to be a September call-up where you give people just a look-see and a taste of the majors. Not this year.
You know, in the past,
help.
Gary, there's been so much worry, I guess, on the part of the organization about bringing guys up and using those options, which would, cripple some organizations when, unable to afford to have to keep a guy and then lose him if you bring him up too many times.
Omar Vizquel will take that one to the gap in left center field. He's got another hit. Vizquel will make the turn and head to second base. The throw, not in time. And Vizquel's got a double and a single and 3 times up. Well, with 8 strikeouts so far, Roxanne, you've won a total of $1,300 from the Maryland Lottery. For your chance to be the Maryland Lottery contestant of the game, play Strike It Rich scratch-offs. Enter your non-winning ticket codes at mdlottery.com/strikeitRich. Part of the $25,000 on hand here tonight. A lot to cheer about with the Orioles leading it 8-2, out-hitting the Jays 13-6. Mathis, the catcher, coming up. He has struck out, grounded out. Ayala's on the mound under the bullpen, working his second inning. And an 0-1 count. Right back with you tomorrow, 1:30 game time to wrap up the series. Chris Tillman against Henderson Alvarez. Tillman 6-2, Alvarez 7-11. 0-1. And that's taken down low. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Orioles trying to get some people back to do some pitching. Jake Arrieta hopefully is going to be able to return, be successful. Foul back. Everything about his work so far has looked good. Hamill has looked outstanding. Waiting for a day off, recovery day. Everything seems to be all right today.
Well,
Hamill.
Jason Hamill is the key, because the way he started off this season, pretty much established himself as the ace of this rotation. To lose that guy, for him to go down and put that big a hole in your boat and having to depend on a lot of unproven young guys, just says a lot about this organization and what they've done to put this team together.
Here's the 1-2 delivery. That one punched towards second base. Andino just came on to play second, backs up and puts it away. Mathis is retired, 1 down. Time to text in your vote for the AT&T Player of the Game. Here are the candidates tonight. Adam Jones, 2 RBI base hit in the ball game. Steve Johnson with a solid 6 innings as the starter. And J.J. Hardy, who came through tonight. Single, double, home run, 2 RBIs and 3 runs scored. Text in your vote, A, B, or C, to 31826. Top of the order, Rajah Davis. Ground ball towards short. Vizquel's got to go back to the bag. Hardy makes the play, 2 down. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Runner at second, 2 down. 8th inning. McCoy. And takes it for a strike. He had a single and scored ahead of Encarnacion, or he got tossed out rather, on the first caught stealing by Wieters in the game. Bautista got the walk and he scored ahead of Encarnacion's homer. Bautista coming out of there after he had only 1 at bat, complaining the left wrist that had put him on the DL in July was bothering him again. Colby Rasmus came on to play in center in his stead. Here's the 1-1. That'll miss down low from Ayala. 2 ball, 1 strike count on McCoy.
Well, you got to be happy about what Ayala has been doing as of late, coming out of the bullpen, eating up some innings for these starters when the Orioles do get a pretty good lead in a ball game. Started off the season hot as any pitcher could be, and then went through a stretch where he was giving up everybody's runs. And you start to wonder whether or not there was just too much pressure on the bullpen at that point. That was right before the All-Star break, but it looks now like he's made a great recovery. He's back on track, a lot of movement on his fastball again, and he's doing a great job for them.
2-2. That'll be fouled back as he got over the top of that one, and Vizquel will move back to second base. A 2 ball, 2 strike count with 2 down. Orioles on top here by a score of 8-2, trying to set themselves up for a sweep. John Farrell's team facing their 7th loss in a row. Mike Showalter's team looking to go 7-4 against Toronto in the year. 2-2. Ayala's delivery taken, and it will miss down low. So a 3 ball, 2 strike count on McCoy. Orioles after their 26th win against the team in the East. 3-2 pitch, that'll go to short. Hardy's got it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a base runner left on in scoring position. Bottom of the 8th inning coming up. Orioles lead it. Ortiz in the lineup. He came back last night, immediately added a couple of hits, 2 RBIs. The Rays have a Major League best 16-7 in August. They lost their ball game today, however. And the Red Sox deal with the Dodgers, everybody's still breaking it down. It's worth about $275 million to the Red Sox, including luxury tax savings and salary savings, even though over the next 6 years the Dodgers are going to get $12 million with payments starting next year. And wouldn't you know it, Adrian Gonzalez went to L.A., played tonight, first at bat, 3-run homer for the Dodgers.
Wow.
That one tagged foul. How much did the Dodgers think they needed these players? They sent a plane to pick them up in Boston, to fly them out to L.A. to make sure they'd be there to play tonight.
Unbelievable. What a blockbuster deal that was.
That's about as much money involved in one deal, I would think, as there's ever been.
Would you classify that a fire sale right
yes.
there?
Yes. You got Beckett and Crawford and Gonzalez. 1-1 delivery lofted in the air to center, and that will be handled by Rasmus, and McLouth is retired. 1 away, 8th inning. For every Orioles walk this year, Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield contributes $50 to the American Heart Association Heart Walk. 361 walks, $18,050. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. Oh, no. That ball's hit high in the air. Congratulate Adam Jones. Swinging at the first pitch, Escobar back there, and he's got it. Rain had been in the forecast all night. We had a very light drizzle before the game started, very light. And now for the first time, it's raining.
Well, you certainly don't want to see a rain delay right here with an afternoon game tomorrow and have these players have to sit around for an hour and a half. That would not be good for us at all.
I like the transition from players to us. I appreciate that because you're absolutely right.
I meant us as a ball club,
I know what you
Gary.
meant.
I'm not worried about it. I got no one to go home to, and neither do you.
Not true. A 1-0 count with 2 down.
Your family's in?
Yes, they are.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's quite all right.
You got the little one to go home.
The little one's here, looking forward to coming to the game tomorrow.
Oh, good.
And a 1-ball, 1-strike count on Wieters. 2 RBIs, 1 a sac fly, 1 a single, and he has struck out twice. Chad Jenkins kind of taking one for the team. In the bullpen is Kevin Gregg. Chad Jenkins came on to pitch back in the 5th inning, and there's been no warm-up action by the Jays since then. And Wieters struck out as the ball's held on to. Wieters arguing about it, but I don't think he's going to win this one, just a guess. We go to the 9th inning. Orioles lead it. Is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. and by Dodge. See your authorized Dodge dealer and experience a world of performance, design, and fuel efficiency. Schedule a test drive or go to Dodge.com and check out the powerful lineup. Gary Thorne, Rick Dempsey, as we go to the 9th inning. Orioles have the 8-2 lead in the ball game. Rain is led up for the moment, and Kevin Gregg's on to try and finish it up.
It was Kevin Gregg is just struggled a little bit as of late, giving up 4 earned runs. That was a season high for him in an inning in the 3rd on August 1st at New York. He had been pitching fairly well up to that point.
Moreau's the pitcher of record for the Jays, giving up 4 runs, 2 earned, 5 hits over 4 2/3, returning after 2.5 months on the DL. He struck out 7, walked only 1. Luke came on, gave up 1 hit, no part of an inning, and then Chad Jenkins has worked 3 1/3, 3 runs, 2 earned on 6 hits. So the Orioles picked up 3 unearned runs in this ball game on the 3 errors committed by the Jays. And that one is going to be fouled straight back. Colby Rasmus leading it off here in the 9th inning. He struck out twice. Jays have really struggled to score runs. This is going to be in this ball game, and he went around, so there's a strikeout. What a tough time he's having. 4 strikeouts last night and 3 in this game in his 3 at-bats.
Well, when things go bad, they really go bad. We've been through this before. Kevin Gregg just throws his fastball up in the strike zone. He wants to check his swing. Doesn't really want to swing at it, but he goes a little too far. Kevin Gregg with a strikeout.
All right, Canaccione, the home run in the 1st inning for 2, and that has been it for the Blue Jays in the ball game. He's walked and grounded out since. Including the 2 runs in this game, the Jays have scored 16 runs in their last 7 games. So the offense has just all but disappeared. Their last 5-run ball game was on August 12th. All right, Canaccione will take the pitch. It is in there, and a 2-ball, 1-strike count.
Well, at the same time, the Toronto Blue Jays, you don't see them go into offensive slumps for too long. But at the same time, they come in here and they run into a buzzsaw too with pitchers like Steve Johnson pitching as well as they did. You got to give Johnson credit. He made great pitches.
Tremendous start, looking to go 2-0 with a win here. Moreau will be 7-5 with a loss. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Big swing and a miss and got him. 2 down.
A little bit of renewed confidence with that last strikeout, and you can see a lot of movement on that ball too. Kevin Gregg just pounding that outside corner right now and throws the ball right by Encarnacion.
Kelly Johnson fans up. Johnson's got an 0 for 3, and he'll take it for a strike. Updating you on the voting for the AT&T Player of the Game. You can still text in your vote, A, B, or C, 31826. Results in the O's Extra postgame show. Jays are going to lose their 7th in a row and their 8th in a row on the road. The Orioles are going to have their 10th win in their last 13 games here at home. Orioles are going to go 69 and 57. The Jays will be 56 and 70. 1-2 delivery. And just got enough of that to foul it off outside of first base. Big night for the top of the order. Marquez, couple of hits, 2 runs scored. Hardy, 3-hit ball game, 3 runs scored, 2 RBIs, including a 17th home run. The top 2 hitters in the lineup. 1-2 pitch, foul back. And Wieters throwing out 3 base stealers early in the game when it really mattered. All of them were the second out of the inning.
It saved a lot of pitches for Steve Johnson tonight.
1-2 pitch. Fans in a hurry, and so's he. That's it. Gregg comes on and strikes out the side. The Orioles won it So the Orioles take the first two, guarantee themselves a series win. It'll be their 23rd series win of the season. They'll have a chance to sweep the Jays here at home. Final in this one, the Orioles 8 and the Blue Jays 2.